This is the Atlantic Soccer Media Group, bringing you UPSL soccer coverage.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lawson Field Stadium. Atlantic Soccer Media Group brings you more first-round playoff action right here in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division as third seed FC Birmingham welcome the sixth seed Vinotinto Atlanta, and the action starts right here, and it's next.
Nachos, better with Pepsi.
Hello once again, everyone, and welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama. Atlantic Soccer Media Group is really excited to bring more UPSL Georgia Premier Division playoff action, and it's about to get kicked off right now with FC Birmingham hosting Vinotinto Atlanta. I am Drew Dickinson, and I'm joined tonight with my special colleague, Mr. Larry Weaver. Larry, we've been waiting on this for quite a while now for FC Birmingham. Finally, they're here in the playoffs. What you think they got ready for us tonight, man?
Now, Drew, I think this is going to be one of the best matches that we have so far in the UPSL Premier Division playoffs. You're talking about a fantastic squad in FC Birmingham. Didn't make the playoffs in the spring, really kind of let them down. We've seen the rebirth of them since Coach Goldfarb has come into the group, and they have just been on fire. Vinotinto having to travel the 2.5 hours over to Birmingham, that only gives them even more of the possibility of walking out of this with a win.
Like you said, FC Birmingham started out a little skittish this year, and then the approval of Coach Preston Goldfarb, bringing him back into the fray, completely changed this season for them. Let's take a look and see how FC Birmingham got here, shall we? Well, as you can see, they started off the season very, very rough. 5-0 win out the gate, or 5-0 loss right out the gate to the Rovers. Bounced back the following week against a weak Siege United team. Then another big L on the road to Atlanta United Academy, followed up by a 3-1 win, Coach Goldfarb's first matchup back. Then they win again, 2-1, Vinotinto. Then another win, 4-0, Club the Strongest. Suffered their first defeat of the season under Preston Goldfarb with a 4-2 loss to Georgia FC. Then they bounced right back with a 0-0 tie against LGSA. 4-0 win over Atlanta City. And last week, cementing that third place finish into the playoffs with a 2-0 win over Siege United FC.
And some of those pieces to note there, Drew. One, Vinotinto, who they're taking on tonight, they beat them in that 2-1 win at Silverbacks Park. Was a good fight. And, you spoke to Coach Goldfarb last week, and he said that he felt like they had lucked out of it, but they also felt like the result was just. When you look at who's left to go, if they do win this match, if they have to take on LGSA Lamino, that is a 0-0 is not a bad draw for going up against Lamino, one of the top powerhouses in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. The only one would be that Atlanta United Academy 4-0, but like you said, that was before Coach Goldfarb, and they kind of got pushed off the field.
No, totally agree. Totally agree. And with the Lamino draw, it was coming off of a couple of depressing losses. Remember, we covered the U.S. Open Cup qualifier match that they were handled by Kalanje Pro Profile. Then they lose to Georgia FC. And that 0-0 draw with Lamino was a really, really big point for this Birmingham squad coming down the stretch of the season.
And then some, you saw they kind of stumbled there when they had to do that Open Cup match. And then there was some changes that were made in the squad. And you see that they've really moved on since then. When we look at Vinotinto, a little bit of a kind of a similar stout. You don't see a whole lot of large scores. You do see that 5-0 right off the bat against Atlanta City, but I think just about everybody did that to Atlanta City this season.
Yeah,
but then you look at some of those matches,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. 4-3. They lost to Georgia FC 2-1. They tied LGSA Lamino 1-1. So they lost, of course, to FC Birmingham. And you see there's a lot of 2-1s, 1-1s, 3-1s, 1-0. So not a lot of scoring going on the Vinotinto side. And that's the one caveat that you'd say that's probably on the positive side for FC Birmingham, having the Golden Boot leading scorer for the Premier Division.
Larry, I want to build on to your point about everybody beating Atlanta City. What worries me the most about the matchup tonight for Vinotinto is, like I say all the time, momentum. You barely hang on and beat a very, very weak Atlanta City team 2-1 last week. That's not the type of momentum that you want to come into a matchup in the playoffs with FC Birmingham, who have all the momentum and they're getting healthy at the right time. Paul Downey, he isn't in the starting lineup tonight, but he is on the bench if reinforcements are needed.
Yeah, and that is what matters most, is momentum, especially when you come into the playoffs. You look at the spring season playoffs, it was Georgia FC winning everything in the playoffs. They came into the playoffs on a positive note. In the middle of the season, they had dropped down, but here they were into the playoffs. They started on a run and they just took off and they made it all the way to the Elite Eight.
Absolutely. And we don't want to beat a dead horse again on the momentum topic, but it's so important for everyone back home to understand. You play the best that you can, always, of course, right? But you pick up the momentum going into the playoffs. You don't have any rest. You don't have any injuries. It's really, really hard to be stopped. You have LGSA and Atlanta United who have a bye this week. Is it going to affect them, Larry? I mean, it's got to have you want to have a right mentality. You want to be confident, but being confident and being too rested can come back and bite you in the butt.
Especially in our beautiful game, because you have that little bit of time off and you want to try to get your guys healthy, but at the same time you need to have game speed, because game speed is totally different than anything else.
Absolutely. And you can ask Alejandro Rodriguez and Mr. Luke Sexton today because they picked up the W, but they were both, you could tell, not up to game speed per se. And if that happens sometime in these playoffs, the rest of the country better look out. But it looks like we got 22 men on the pitch. We got FC Birmingham going from left to right in their traditional all yellow. Vinotinto going from right to left in their all red kits. And we are underway here at Lawson Field Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. FC Birmingham start on the front foot as they bring the ball out from the back, push it out to the right side to Andrew Duffy. Duffy finds Captain Ryan Hepp. Ryan Hepp himself, Larry, injured a little bit earlier on in the season. Asked him last week after their forfeit win over Seas United to clinch the third place spot. He told me, don't worry, he is 100% healthy, so that's a very positive note for this Birmingham squad.
And also to note for the Birmingham squad, they had so many players that were out with the flu last week, so that little forfeit for them actually worked for them.
100%. And to build onto your point about missing some players, as you guys can see, if you're watching back home, Andrew Duffy, Eddie Naranjo, Ryder Strickland, Lynn Jackson, not very familiar names to this premier squad. You have Paul Downey out, Ethan Acton out injured, and of course, Verdi Martina, who is not with the team right now. Verdi is a aspiring neuroscientist, so he is out at a convention right now. Best of luck to Verdi. Hopefully he can make it back in time if they are to advance.
And that's just, I mean, a neuroscientist. Come on.
Exactly. Too cool. Paul's going to be throwing in the danger zone of Birmingham, thrown right into the box by Vinotinto, headed away, right up in the air. Hosma able to get his head on it, but right back down to Vinotinto. Ryan gets a big clearance right up in the air. Hosma still battling with Vinotinto. Vinotinto gets a shot on goal, right into the gut of Cosmos Azuru, star goalkeeper of FC Birmingham.
But Drew, this is something that FC Birmingham, both of these teams, this is new territory for both of them.
Absolutely.
But don't
100%.
forget the fact that Vinotinto Atlanta is a team that plays a lot of tournaments, so they know what it's like to be under the pressure.
As they are dispossessed, they as in FC Birmingham. And Larry, I want to correct one of my mistakes from earlier. Verdi is on the bench. So he missed a week of training. So, of course, the style of Goldfarb is, you don't train, you don't play. But it's very nice to have that confidence of being able to bring your star center back off the bench if needed.
Well, you want to have a super sub. You always want to have a super sub.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And in their case, they got a few because Ethan's on the bench, Verdi's on the bench, Junior Ragama's on the bench, Manny Mendez is on the bench, Paul Downey's on the bench. I don't really need to keep going. And your favorite, Mr. Eric Hepp, is on the bench himself. We'll see Eric at some point today. That's Goldfarb's, really that's his favorite sub to bring in off the bench. Let's get real.
Yeah, Eric he just so happens, especially at Lawson Field at home, it just feels like the ball bounces for him.
It does.
No matter what, it just always goes his way. But, you're looking at the fact that today, we're in 45 degrees. The wind's blowing between 7 and 10 miles an hour. It's really cold out there right now.
Free kick is taken right at the top of the 18 of Vinotinto. Cleared away, right back to the feet of Villanueva. Golden Boot winner tries to find Angel Duarte. Duarte missed last couple of games. I believe Angel was sick. Good to see him back out on the field. Keep blazing his trail out on the pitch. Vinotinto coming up that left side, dispossessed by Birmingham. Referee didn't like it. It's going to be a free kick right under half field for Vinotinto. We are 4 minutes in. If you're just now joining us, we are live from Lawson Field Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. Vinotinto Atlanta taking on FC Birmingham. 3rd seed versus the 6th seed. UPSL Georgia Premier Division playoff action. If you joined us earlier this afternoon, you saw the Atlanta Rovers FC beat Georgia FC 1-0. Both teams, tons of opportunities. Alejandro Rodriguez able to find the back of the net for Atlanta Rovers FC. Speaking of tons of opportunities, Alejandro had about 7 or 8 today, Larry, but lucky enough for him and his squad, he was able to find the back of the net at least once.
Yeah, that match was really interesting because it could have went either way.
Yes.
And a mistake by a defender for Georgia FC leads to the game-winning goal.
Yep, and you got to, if you're going to take your hat off to anybody, obviously take your hat off to the Atlanta Rovers FC and, of course, Alejandro Rodriguez. But the Georgia FC goalkeeper today left it all out on the field. If he wasn't healthy and didn't play today, I'm afraid the score would have been ran straight up, Larry. He showed up today and put his heart out on the line for his club.
Yeah, it was and you saw that collision between him and Rodriguez late in the match.
Yes.
And he gave everything he had and more.
A very, very, very fun game. Everybody, go ahead.
You see, you see the little dance going between the player and the ref there about where the ball needs to be placed on that foul.
Didn't we see a card last week because of that?
Exactly.
From the same team?
From the same team.
Jeez. Free kicks taken. Vinotinto are creeping into the danger zone of FC Birmingham, but Hazma Sadiq dispossesses Vinotinto. Vinotinto wins it right back. Jasui Marquez, he's in possession right now, battling against Hazma Sadiq. Going to be another foul, and these two teams are going at each other early. Tyreek Davis, Jasui Marquez.
And this is something that Birmingham needs to keep under control, because this is something that happened to Vinotinto earlier this season when they played LGSA Lamino. They had a player that was ejected, fighting at the end of the match. Don't need that.
No, we don't.
We're just coming into this match.
We're 6 minutes in. You see the captain, Marco Gomez, talking to the fourth official. All four officials are on the pitch. Here comes one of the trainers to check out the injured player down on the field. As both goalkeepers have exited the goals. Looks like, we're getting some order here on the pitch. I don't mind the intensity. I don't mind the mouth. I'm just not a fan of the intentional and the intentional fouls and the fighting. It's the wrong sport if you want to do that. That's just my opinion.
You're not going to hear a condescending remark on this side. You don't like to see it. That you want to make sure that you're professional from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, I understand it, Larry. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid. I understand it. But at some point, one team has to win the game. And if you make a mistake and one of those plastics is a color red, it changes the dynamic not just of the game, but of your entire season. This is the playoffs. Let's get your heads together, boys, and let's go. 83 minutes to go plus stoppage. You don't need any fighting ejections this soon. Looks like play. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, good job by the referee to let that play through. No cards issued out. Work that out. We're only 8 minutes into this. We don't need to go anything down from there.
No, I totally agree. And you can mirror the exact same sentiment from the official from this afternoon. Just took control of a very important game. And I can't remember one bad call or one missed call today from the officiating crew from this afternoon. Hats off to them. And so far, like you said, Larry, the center official and even the fourth official coming onto the pitch to maintain order, you got to love it, as Vinotinto have a throw-in right in front of that Birmingham bench. So the captain, Marco Gomez, on the throw-in. He's got Miguel Nunez square, but he goes right down the line. Vinotinto's leading scorer is Cesar Tahuel. And, of course, Mr. Jose Villanueva, the Golden Boot leader, Golden Boot winner in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division, is the number 10 for FC Birmingham. Neither team have had any dangerous opportunities so far. Still trying to fill each other out as Andrew Duffy tries to clear it away, finds the head of Hep, who finds Tyreek Davis. Now Hazma Sadiq out on that left side. Goes right down that left side, but he is dispossessed, and the ball is intercepted by Vinotinto. And one right back by Birmingham, and a clearance down that left side, just a bit too heavy for Jose. As the goalkeeper, Daniel Delgado for Vinotinto, picks it up, takes a few steps back, rolls it out to Raul Canelos. Canelos pressed by those yellow jerseys hard. Ronald Valera takes it up the left side, puts it into the inside, receives it back. He's got Oscar Huerta. Huerta goes by Andrew Duffy with ease. Nice bit of skill. Huerta is fouled. Be a free kick for Vinotinto.
And Drew, the best advice I could give FC Birmingham, and it's one that I've given multiple times this season to multiple teams when you're playing somebody like a Vinotinto or like a Atlanta United Academy, is to not be nice.
Yeah, get nasty.
You got to dig in those trenches, and you got to win those 50-50 balls.
Completely agree. Free kick taken. Cesar Tehul. I apologize. That's Oscar Huerta who plays it in the middle. Finds the feet of Juan Rotjez. Rotjez finds Miguel Nunez. Nunez tries to play it out wide right. He's dispossessed by Birmingham. And here comes Angel Duarte. Duarte loses possession, knocked out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for Birmingham right at half field. Fourth official is telling the center official the correct direction of the throw-in. I've never seen that before.
Well, just so happened he was right there. So.
Well, and he was wrong, as Vinotinto take the throw as they win possession back on the left side. Closed down by Lynn Jackson, and Birmingham win the ball back. Speaking of Lynn, they play a through ball down the right side to him. Can he catch up to it? Lynn steps over the slide tackle attempt by Raul Canelos. Ball's played over in the middle. Angel Duarte. Lynn Jackson, FC Birmingham on the right side. Two red shirts in front of him. Ball's knocked out by Vinotinto. Throw in for Birmingham on the right side. Birmingham is knocking on the door here in the 11th minute.
Still, you just see that lucky little bounce there. Lawson Field just has a soft spot for FC Birmingham.
Goalkeeper for Vinotinto in possession. Walks up to the top of the 18. What a punt. One in the air by Hazma. Pushes it out to the left. Can they keep it in bounds? Yes, they can. Birmingham lose possession to Vinotinto right at half field, but Villanueva fighting back. Ball goes out of bounds right at that Birmingham bench, and it will be a throw-in for FC Birmingham, who won a foul. Maybe they got it, as Hazma Sadiq is down, 21-year-old from Morocco, an Auburn University at Montgomery graduate. He was the man of the match in that 4-0 win over Club the Strongest in Week 6, Larry. That was his first match of the season, and I'll argue that was one of the best midfield performances all year, especially alongside number 15.
And talk about the just tandem between Sadiq and...
Oh no, Birmingham ball almost bounces over the goalkeeper's head as Andrew Duffy puts some pressure. Daniel Delgado. He said there was no worries from him, though.
But Sadiq and Tyreek have been just a formidable midfield.
Yeah, Tyreek Davis, 100%, Larry. Tyreek Davis is the best midfielder in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division as far as defensive-wise. He's the best defensive midfielder. I would say, one of the best in the Southeast. Let's just get real. Kid is amazing. It's a foul on Birmingham. Free kick for Vinotinto right in front of the Birmingham bench. Captain Marco Gomez is standing over the ball. He'll take the kick. Thomas Biljon steps over to the right as well. Goldfarb in his traditional bright pink hat and shoes. I like when Birmingham apply pressure. They're really, really good at it as Jose Villanueva dispossesses Vinotinto right in front of their bench, and he wins himself a throw-in for his squad. Villanueva takes it quick, plays it back. Tyreek Davis, long shot attempt! And the goalkeeper just dives to his right and is able to get his body in front of it before it rolls into the far post. What a shot by Tyreek, and gutsy shot too. He was about 25, 30 yards out, Larry.
Well, it's not a bad idea to make the goalkeeper do a little bit of work, catch him, see if you can catch him off guard.
Vinotinto trying to find some space in behind that Birmingham defense as they play it out to the left side. Oscar Huerta. Huerta! Kick save by Cosmas. Cosmas comes out, puts his feet on it, still bouncing in the 6. Vinotinto. Referee comes up, tells the referee or the referee comes to Cosmos, blows a foul on Vinotinto, free kick for Birmingham.
Yeah, that ball was ripped out of Cosmos's hands. It's going to be a struggle all through this match. Both of these teams, it's going to be very emotional.
It's gonna.
This is win or go home.
Absolutely. I think it's gonna. Whoever can keep their head the coolest for the longest. We know that Vinotinto is famous for losing their heads. This is playoffs time. Gotta have the right mentality. We talk about it all the time as Marquez dispossesses Hep, and he plays a hospital ball, and Angel Duarte is able to win the ball back for Birmingham. Angel Duarte finds some space in behind Vinotinto. Is he onside? He is not, as the AR throws the flag up for an offside call on Angel Duarte.
That was a good call. He was right there on the line.
This is Duarte's second season with FC Birmingham. He played football, basketball, and soccer at Susan Moore High School. So,
Overachiever.
yeah.
It's all good. We love to see.
Oh, yeah. And we all know where Angel is from. No need to mention that.
But you see, again, there it is. Another time where the keeper is throwing the ball forward. You saw Coach Goldfarb getting upset there. And this is something that they try to, a player will try to get away with. He'll try to sneak a few yards. And Coach Goldfarb,
he knows.
He sees his case. He's been around. He's seen everything.
Yep. Free kick is taken by Delgado. Able to be kept in bounds by Huerta. But Birmingham win possession back. Ryan Hep, captain, plays it back to Garcia. Garcia plays it out to the left side, and is another hospital ball by Birmingham, one back by Vinotinto. Vinotinto coming down their right side. Marco Gomez, big switch. Cosmos comes out, gets a fist on it. What a wonderful save by the goalkeeper. Came out, loads of confidence, able to get one fist on it and punch it out far enough. Another mistake by Lynn Jackson in the defensive mode for Birmingham. Almost allows some free space for Vinotinto, but Cosmos was there. He rolls it out to his right, finds the feet of Ryder Strickland.
And I just can't praise enough of Cosmos Lazuru for FC Birmingham. In the spring season, having to share the box with Curry, you saw a huge bad tackle right there.
Another
it's
one.
Gonna be a yellow card.
Yeah, it's going to be on number 14, Marco Gomez, captain for Vinotinto Atlanta. We are 17 minutes in, and I'm surprised there's only been one yellow card, but I can only see it getting worse.
Yeah, as the Birmingham player was going up to field that ball, just came underneath of him and took him out. Definitely worth a yellow.
I'd like to know what the Vinotinto coaching staff was just saying to the official, because there's no way you can defend what just happened.
Not at all. And you just see, and we're used to seeing Coach Goldfarb sitting on the bench, and he has been pacing the sidelines from the start of this match.
I don't blame him, Larry. I'm very big on brotherhood and camaraderie, so I'm going to come to the aid of my brother and my teammate and my player as well. And as you see, Goldfarb is not happy over on the sideline. You don't really see him say too much, hardly ever, unless there's a call bad enough that grants some sort of verbal communication with the official. Ryan Hep turns, plays a beautiful ball on the left side, just didn't get it wide enough. But Villanueva able to win it back. He is immediately dispossessed by Cesar. Cesar plays it back to Gomez. And Birmingham dispossessed once again on that left side. Both teams winning the ball back, able to, dispossess one another, but just playing in either a hospital ball or a silly pass and losing possession immediately. I mean, it's back and forth, Larry. We're 19 minutes in, and you really haven't seen much of a threat from any team so far.
And that's got to be probably the most frustrating part for Coach Goldfarb. Goldfarb is adamant about moving that ball on the ground, side to side, quick one-touch passing. He doesn't like to see this constant loss of possession.
Alexi Ferrer for Vinotinto was down right in front of that Birmingham bench. It's a shame that Stat Wellness isn't there to take care of the injured players in Birmingham.
He did a phenomenal job in the early match. So happy to have Stat Wellness a part of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division for these playoffs, and they'll be with the Premier in Division 1 in the spring season. So it is awesome to have.
And good for the boys. You know, they deserve to have somebody on the sideline who knows what they're doing, can take care of the injuries with a quickness and with confidence and with know-how.
And somebody that's played the game. So
it's even better. I didn't know that. That's even better.
Genry played the sport. You know, he was a soccer guy, so he knows what these players. You know, you know what happens through the week and during the match.
Laird, didn't our own Andre Bomar have a sit down with Genry?
He did, and you can find that interview on our YouTube channel. When you're done watching this wonderful matchup, you can watch that little interview.
It's going to be a foul on Vinotinto, free kick for Birmingham. Hosma over it, takes it, pushes it out to the left side. And once again, he just didn't get it wide enough as Birmingham lose possession. Eddie Naranjo just unable to maintain possession as Vinotinto play a long ball to nobody. And FC Birmingham are going to start once again, build from the back. Ryder Strickland plays it over to the left side. Hosma loops it over the top. What a ball. Finds Ryan Hepp. Hepp plays it over to the right side. And a volley attempt by Lynn Jackson. And he just didn't get what he wanted and what he needed to put the ball in the back of the net. Ryan Hepp streaks down the left side, cuts it to the inside, plays a beautiful ball to the back post. Volley attempt by Lynn Jackson just wasn't enough. Goalkeeper able to make a save and keep Birmingham off the board.
That's one of those instances where your feet are just a few seconds behind your brain, trying to take a swing at that and just couldn't get full contact.
I would have loved to have seen how big his eyes got just then, Larry.
And you know, as a player, when you receive that ball in such a beautiful position and you just, everything runs through your mind at once.
Tyreek Davis is in possession in the midfield for Birmingham, plays it out to the left side. Another questionable pass by Birmingham. Looks like Tyrese tried to force that one in. Nonetheless, Vinotinto is going to knock it out. It'll be an FC Birmingham throw. And Ryder Strickland will step up, take the throw in right down the line. Looks like he went a few yards too forward. Referee's going to back him up. He'll take the throw in again. Fourth official has been awfully helpful tonight as he helps Ryder pick that ball back up. In a battle in the midfield between both teams. And it looks like Tyreek Davis is going to come out on top. Through ball attempt by Davis. Silly foul there by Duarte if the referee saw it. The referee tells him to get up. You have the pump. But nonetheless, Angel needs to be careful. Because one thing we do know is that Vinotinto isn't afraid to retaliate.
And this is one of those teams that will give you a little grab, a little tug, a little bump, just to get you out of your mind frame.
Yeah, they're going to try and wind you up. They'll wind you up for sure, and that's just what Birmingham does not need. They do not need to fall into the trap, per se. As Vinotinto have another free kick just above half field. Miguel Nunez and Juan Rodriguez. Juan's going to step to the right, and Miguel is going to take this free kick. Going to play a low screamer out to the left side, bounces up in the air. Trying to find Oscar Huerta. Nice defense by Andrew Duffy. Tyreek Davis plays it out to the left for Lynn. Lynn plays it back to Duffy. Duffy plays it right up that right channel. Knocked out by Vinotinto, throw in for Birmingham. I like to see Birmingham try and string some passes together. They look a little timid, look a little scared on the ball. They get it and try and force something or get it off their feet really quick. I like to see them, Larry, calm down a little bit, look up, maintain a little possession, and then play some passes with confidence.
Definitely so. We go back to the Club the Strongest match here at Lawson Field Stadium, where Birmingham was able to successfully move the ball around, and we saw consecutive passing. We saw 10, 12, 15 passes in a row. We need to get back to seeing that for FC Birmingham.
Tyreek Davis with another great defensive play as Birmingham look to be on the front foot here as they're streaking down that left side. Angel Duarte in the middle. Lynn Jackson on the right. Ryan Hepp is in possession. He is fouled. Captain of Birmingham is fouled. And another yellow card. This time it's going to be issued to Ronald Valera. Those plastics are being tossed, Larry.
And it's really early. We're only 25 minutes into this match. And that's a lot of plastic being issued so far. We'll take another look at this real quick while they're setting up. You can see this ball as he's coming through. Slides it across, a little slow in the pass.
Another hospital ball.
And allowed the Vinotinto player to catch up, but wasn't in the right position and ends up getting that yellow card.
Larry, Birmingham are in a really good position here to have a go at this. I really don't, I don't see too many yellow shirts in the box, so it looks like they're going to be deliberating whether or not to put this one on target or try and find someone at the back post. We know Nicholas Ibanez last season, Birmingham's first season here in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division, became a very far out free kick specialist, if that's how you want to put it. So let's see if his teammates have some magic.
Ibanez was like a sniper out there from about 30 yards.
Good call. And this one's taken by Hepp, pushes it down to the left side. Angel Duarte hits side netting. Almost finds the back of the net, and what a free kick play, catching Vinotinto off guard, and did Birmingham win a corner kick?
That was definitely from the training ground there.
Oh, 100%.
You love to see that because, you know, we see time and time again, you can tell teams really don't work on free kicks like that during their training sessions. You'll love to see that from FC Birmingham.
Left-footed out swinger, top of the 18. Headed away by Vinotinto, right back to the feet of Jose Villanueva. Lupe plays it back to Tyreek Davis. Davis being heavily pressured by Oscar Huerta, but Davis able to maintain, pushes it out to the left side, right in front of their bench. Ball's played in the middle. Far post, looks like a trip in the box by Vinotinto. The referee sees that's got to be a penalty. I am absolutely stunned that he is throwing this off. I cannot believe my eyes. A clear, obvious trip from behind inside the box.
Let's take another
Lynn
look
Jackson,
at it.
as he's going to deliberate.
He's going to deliberate with the AR.
And if my eyes are correct, and the AR saw what we saw, that's a penalty for Birmingham. And it looks like it's short and sweet. What are we going to get here? Referee has not signaled anything. He's
just going to call it that. Let's take a look at it real quick.
Yeah. Show us that replay, partner, because I'm a little confused here.
It was a great ball sent over to the side by Davis. A beautiful ball into the box.
Oh, I mean, come on, Larry. I don't understand how much more clear it has to be. Birmingham just got the hose right there.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one because you can see either way, especially with it being early. But it's clear that he was clipped from behind. It should have been a penalty.
Man, I understand not wanting to change the outcome of a match with, an early goal, but let's get real. We're in the 29th minute. A clear penalty was just stolen from the home team. Let's see how they respond. Vinotinto are inside the danger zone of FC Birmingham. Cesar pushed it across the middle and very, very smartly headed back to the goalkeeper by Hazma Sadiq as Cosma sprints up to the top of the 18. Larry, are we going to get one here? Looks like we are, my friend.
You can tell once he kind of cocks that leg back, you know that we're going to get a side volley.
And an elbow right into the jaw.
Yeah, another foul. I think there's just no other way. These fouls and these yellow cards are going to catch up to Vinotinto in the second half. They have to gain control of themselves. Otherwise, they're going to end up finding themselves at least one man down.
Tyreek pushes it out to the right side. Ryder Strickland. Got a few red shirts. Nice passing here in the midfield by Birmingham. Just unable to keep it in bounds was Andrew Duffy. It's going to be a throw-in for the visitors.
And that
Larry,
pass needed to be on the ground.
Larry, we've talked about teams traveling from Atlanta and having the travel woes early on in the matchup. I'm not too sure if I see any travel woes from Vinotinto. I just see a lot of bad play and a lot of fouls.
But like I said, this is a team that is used to playing in tournaments, so they're used to travel. They're used to moving around and having matches like this where it's a live or die scenario.
Try and get into the head of their opponents. And Birmingham doing a good job of not letting them creep in as they have possession in their own defensive third. Push it out to the right side of the pitch to Andrew Duffy. He plays it up to the right for Lynn Jackson.
And mentality was all about Coach Goldfarb's lineup to this match, letting the guys know, don't lose control. We're seeing that right there. Tyreek kind of lost control there. Before that, bad touch, which led to the loss of possession.
Going to be a throw-in for Birmingham in the Vinotinto territory. It was going to be taken by Naranjo. Throws it square to the feet of Angel Duarte.
We can talk.
Villanueva plays it into the far post. He had a man wide open. Just played it a little bit too much. It's going to go out. Did it have a deflection? It did have a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick for the home team, Larry.
Yes, I was just going to say we can talk from the comfort of the press box about it, how nice it is, but these guys, they're out there in those elements. We're talking in the mid 40s. The wind is blowing.
And your nerves are on the line. I mean, this is the playoffs. It's all on the line right now for both teams. It's going to be a left foot corner, so it'll be an in-swinger. Look for it to land on the penalty spot or near post. And the kick is away, and it goes right into the goalkeeper's hands on the 6. Goalkeeper runs up, slips, but able to find his man out on the left side. Cut on the inside is Oscar Huerta. Huerta being chased down by Tyreek Davis. Huerta plays it out to the right side. Vinotinto still working on the right side. Nice defense by FC Birmingham as they are able to win the ball back. Tyreek plays Ryan Hepp. Ryan Hepp loses possession, but Birmingham are able to maintain and push it back out to the right for Lynn Jackson. Lynn looks up, plays the ball down the right. Can he keep it in bounds? He can. He cannot. Barely goes out, it seems, as Angel Duarte tried to maintain possession, but it goes out right in front of the assistant referee for a throw-in. Cosma sees something, and he's calling the trainers on because there's an injured player down on the field for Vinotinto as the FC Birmingham goalkeeper leaves his line and comes out to check on the injured player. Doesn't look good as he is laying. Okay, it looks like he's starting to move a little bit. Thankfully, he's moving. You're just now joining us.
Looks
We're
like
in the
Cosmos is calling for water. Or something, because he has the look of that. But go ahead, keep going.
Oh no, we're good. I'm just hoping that the player is going to be okay. You don't like to see that. I guess he just got hit, like a gut shot or whatnot, Larry. But it looks like he's going to be okay. The trainer coach brings on some water, help him out. But yeah, if you're just now joining us, just now hitting the 33rd minute, we are live in Birmingham, Alabama at Lawson Field Stadium as Vinotinto Atlanta took that trek down I-20 West here to Birmingham to take on the home team themselves. FC Birmingham able to pull out a third place finish in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division regular season. Vinotinto rounding out that top 6. Vinotinto wins.
And note the fact that Vinotinto had to fight to get into the playoffs, stole that 6th spot away from Club the Strongest.
Goal differential, Larry.
It's huge. Club the Strongest had beaten Vinotinto earlier in the season, but goal differential over
Los Tigres.
And it wasn't by much. And it all goes back to, and I said it before, Los Tigres, where it went wrong for them was early in the season when they tied Atlanta City 4-4.
Both teams, same record. Both teams, same amount of points. Vinotinto Atlanta, goal differential of 12. Club the strongest Atlanta, Los Tigres, goal differential of 9. But they had 2 weeks in a row to put the icing on the cake. They just couldn't find the spatula to spread it out, Larry.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks for Los Tigres, they looked almost scared.
They didn't look the same.
No, they did not. When they went up against Atlanta United, they just looked very, very worried, like they never wanted to make a hard challenge. They never really wanted to go at it. And then that last matchup, I believe it was against the Rovers.
Yeah. Well, Larry, before we move on to the Rovers, let's continue talking about the Atlanta United Academy game. Club the Strongest were able to force not 1, not 2, but 3 red cards, able to play 2 men up for about 60 minutes of the game, and were still unable to pull out even a draw, as Atlanta United pulled away with a 4-1 win at home. And then, like you said, they lose last week, and just a heartbreaker to Atlanta Rovers. And Vinotinto, like you said too, Larry, they had to pull out a W to sneak into that 6th spot. They won 2-1 against the bottom of the table Atlanta City FC. So but a lot of teams here in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division, nothing but fighting the last month of the season, and you just cannot get enough of it. You love to see it.
That's what I say time and time again. The UPSL Georgia Premier Division is one of the most competitive divisions in the UPSL nationwide. Now, granted, of those 3 red cards, one of those was for Coach Silva.
True.
But it's still 3 red cards.
Big throw in right in the box by Duffy, bouncing inside the 18, volley attempt by Hep, but it goes right back to the arms of Delgado.
The defender wanted to grab it and then thought otherwise and put his hand down quickly.
It was really close there, partner. Goalkeeper puts it down. Duarte applies a little bit of pressure, but the keeper's able to get the clearance away as Alan Garcia drops it back to Cosmos. And both center backs open up, as it looks like Birmingham's going to try and utilize the width. Heels on the chalk, but unable to find the man off the header. And Marco Gomez is coming up that right side. Alex Ferrer loses possession. Birmingham win it right back. Here come the home team. Angel Duarte, nice spin-off by Duarte on Thomas Bujon. Duarte tried to play a left foot cross into the center, looking for Lynn Jackson and Jose Villanueva. He just didn't get what he wanted, but he puts it right into the feet of Vinotinto and wins a throw-in. Deep in the Atlanta territory.
That's exactly what I was going to say. A very deep throw-in. But we are very biased. We like to see those wingers out there on the chalk line.
Absolutely.
Even an a la Garnacho.
Heels on the chalk, baby.
We like to see that wide play. It forces your opponent to have to go with you, and which then leads to some passing lanes that become open in the middle.
100%. And to me, it's just so obvious. I mean, you go back to Sir Alex Ferguson's absolute famous 4-4-2 formation, and arguably the best player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo, won the Golden Boot as a right winger. You think Ronaldo didn't have his heels on the chalk arguably every time the ball wasn't at his feet? If you say no, you're dead wrong. It's all about the width. And the header on goal just sails wide for FC Birmingham. You use that width, there is not a thing your opponents can do.
Yeah, it's one of those items that only requires your work, but it's completely devastating to your opponent.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Alejandro Rodriguez today. He is still trying to find himself, find his match fitness, but he had 3 defenders on him at all times, and he tried to have a lot of movement in the middle of the pitch. I was wondering why he was never making any runs to the corner and bringing those defenders with him and opening up that midfield. But if he's listening, maybe he'll try and do that next week, as Hasma Sadiq dispossesses Juan Rajas in the midfield, but Juan able to come back, win possession, and Hasma not having none of it as he plays it in the midfield. But Birmingham just haven't been able to find the in-game magic here, Larry. Tyreek Davis wins the ball back in the midfield for Birmingham. Brings it over to the left side. Nice slide tackle defense by Thomas Boujon for Vinotinto when he wins a throw-in for the visitors.
And Drew, you know that as the years have gone on, the mass of the boot keeps getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And you see these guys, when they're going in for a challenge, they almost jump out of the way because they don't want to make contact with that cold boot.
Oh, gosh, it's even worse when it's cold. Andrew Duffy in possession for Birmingham. Nice move. Wasn't able to maintain possession as Vinotinto were able to clear it up through the middle. Vinotinto thought twice about it, and they're going to reset from the back. But there's a lot of yellow jersey there. They need to be careful. And Gil Duarte, Jose Villanueva applying a lot of deep pressure here. And the pressure applied has worked as Ryan Hepp was able to win the ball back for Birmingham. But Vinotinto defense was right there. As I said before, both teams able to win the ball back in possession, but they immediately give it away.
Especially in the final third for Birmingham so far. They're just
it's becoming clockwork.
Passing.
It's becoming clockwork. Vinotinto in possession on the right side, played on the inside. Cosmos is calling off the troops. He comes out, scoops it up. Birmingham won a foul, but I believe the goalkeeper coming out and getting his palms on it is going to hold the referee from blowing his whistle. Cosmos rolls it right out to the feet of his center back. Ryder Strickland plays it back to the goalkeeper.
And for as quiet as Cosmos is in just normal day-to-day, when he's on the field, there's no way you can say that you did not hear him when he calls you off.
Yeah, I'll call you a liar. I mean, that sounded really mean. I didn't mean to say it that way. I'm sorry, but yeah. As both teams battling out here on this left side, who's going to win the battle? It looks like Vinotinto won this battle. But Birmingham are going to try and win the war. Alan Garcia playing some nice defense. Larry, we've talked about it a lot over the last few weeks for this Birmingham squad. It seems that their Achilles heel has been sloppy passes and bad play by their wingbacks. Looks like Goldfarb's hurt us, and he's worked on it because you hadn't seen much of that today. They've been real solid.
Yes, Garcia has, if there was anybody I would say has been a bit of a Achilles heel for FC Birmingham these last few matches, I would say it was Garcia. He has a tendency to get himself a little bit out of position, but that was a perfect play there. They ended up winning the foul right basically on the corner.
Free kick is taken. They put it right into the middle, right in front of the goal mouth, brings it the goalkeeper. Cosmos gets a big clearance out to the left, tried to keep it in bounds. They do. Marco Gomez for Vinotinto plays it up the right side. Referee doesn't like that from Hazma Sadiq. Blows the whistle for a foul. Free kick Vinotinto. Alan Garcia, the left back for FC Birmingham, is 24 years old, and he's from Honduras, Larry. I really love how the Hondurans play, especially in CONCACAF. One of the hardest places for any team to travel is anywhere on the road in CONCACAF, but especially Honduras. Shot on goal attempt by Vinotinto. Header sails wide left. I'm not sure if Cosma had that one read. He looked like a deer in a headlight on that one, Larry. That could have been in the back of the net.
Yeah, that one looked like everyone was caught off guard with that little header. Just a glancing blow. Goes wide. Good thing for Birmingham because they had nothing for that one.
Yeah, Cosmos had cement in his shoes on that one. As he gets the goal kick situated. We are in the 44th minute. If you're just now joining us on the Atlantic Soccer Media Group YouTube channel, FC Birmingham and Vinotinto Atlanta are tied at 0. First round of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division playoff action. Earlier today, the Atlanta Rovers FC were able to defeat Georgia FC 1-0 at Silverbacks Park. If this match is won by Birmingham, then the Atlanta Rovers FC will travel to the Atlanta United training grounds next week to take on Atlanta United Academy. And FC Birmingham will come to, I apologize. Yes, FC Birmingham will come to Atlanta to take on LGSA. If
yes,
they hold on.
if they're able to pull out a victory here, they will go against LGSA Laminio, and that would mean Atlanta Rovers would take on Atlanta United Academy.
At Silverbacks Park, that's my mistake.
Yeah, both of them are at
Both of them are at
Silverbacks Park.
Silverbacks.
So, semifinals and finals are both at Silverbacks Park. Only the first round is allowed for teams to have home field advantage. Going to be a little conversation between Tyreek Davis and number 4 there of Vinotinto. Vinotinto player thought that he was fouled egregiously. Not the case. No cards issued.
It was Oscar Huerta, who's been a thorn in the side of that right defense for Birmingham so far today. Well, like you mentioned earlier, Larry, about FC Birmingham, Vinotinto, you can say the same. Box to box, 18-18, both teams playing A- grade. But once they get inside the 18, that A- grade goes down to about a D+ because the end game has just been lackluster for both teams.
Yeah, you could say really each team with 1 shot on goal. Birmingham was the only one that was actually on frame. I would say Vinotinto did have 1 that was on frame, but very lackluster in these first 45.
Big throw into the box by Duffy as we are entering stoppage time in the first half. Goalkeeper Delgado comes off his line, scoops that up for Vinotinto. Had a few injuries, but the referee didn't deem it much to have much stoppage time as he blows the whistle. And that's going to do it for the end of the first half here in Birmingham, Alabama. We are going to go into the first half break tied at 0. But Larry, both teams, like we just said, not too much in-game, but playing very well. Both teams putting together some nice passes, 18-18, just unable to find much in-game or find the back of the net.
Yeah, so far, both of them definitely filling each other out. Neither one of them want to go down early, as you do have the temperature and you do have, that if you lose this, you're out. The one thing to note for this second round or the second half, Vinotinto does not have very many people on the bench, if much at all. So could attrition come into play? We'll find out in these next 45.
Well, 0-0 at halftime. FC Birmingham, Vinotinto Atlanta. Referees letting them play. We'll let you guys go get some water, go get your popcorn ready. Second half of action right here after the break.
Nachos, better with Pepsi. Nachos, better with Pepsi.
Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama. Lawson Field Stadium, as FC Birmingham and Vinotinto are tied at 0. Both teams, not too many, I should say, goal scoring opportunities. Really, really good, 18-18, nice passing in the midfield. Neither team able to find or create any sort of hardcore chances in the first half, Larry.
No, not at all. Both teams really, I don't really say that they found their mojo to say in that final third on both sides. I'd like to see Birmingham come out this second half, and I'd like to see them press really hard and really catch Vinotinto off guard and see if they can't get away with a goal and get out of this thing with a victory.
I agree with the few weapons that Goldfarb has on the bench. Curious to see if he went there at all at halftime. Nonetheless, both teams back out on the pitch. Coaches heading to their benches. And if you are just now joining us for the first time today, earlier this afternoon at Silverback Stadium, Atlanta Rovers FC handled their business as they defeated Georgia FC 1-0 in the first matchup here in the first round of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division playoffs. And if the result holds right now between Birmingham and Vinotinto, they will play 2 15-minute extra time periods and they will go to penalty kicks. If Birmingham walk away with a victory today, they will go to Silverback Stadium next week to play Laminio, Georgia, LGSA. Somehow Vinotinto are able to hang on. They have the difficult task, my friend, of facing the division champs, Atlanta United Academy.
And to be honest, it doesn't matter if you're going up against LGSA Laminio or if you're going to go up against Atlanta United Academy. Both of those two teams, formidable opponents here in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. So it's no easy task to make it on to the finals.
Couldn't agree more. As both teams have now come back out onto the pitch, referee has finished his final preparations. Larry, the temperatures dropped down to about 40 degrees here at the start of the second half as Cesar Tahuel, the leading goal scorer here for Vinotinto Atlanta in the regular season, is going to take this kick. And we hope to be underway here in the second half in just a second. And we are, as the referee blows the whistle for the second 45 here at Lawson Field Stadium. And Vinotinto immediately lose possession to Birmingham, who looked to calm things down early on, reset. Cosmos Ozuru gets a big clearance right out of the goal, about a 60-yard clearance. Fortunately, went to the feet of Vinotinto. Both teams in the first half, Larry, like I said a few times, they'd win possession, lose it right back. Win possession, foul, lose it right back. So it was real back and forth. Let's see if either team today can string some passes together, bring it down the inline, put it up top, and, maybe just find the back of the net here.
And the big note from that first half is the amount of plastic that was issued to Vinotinto. So there looks like they only have one substitute. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be able to maintain the physicality level with FC Birmingham.
Not just maintain the physicality level, Larry. We both know Vinotinto to lacks a little mentality here and there, and one more mental block could result in a ejection. So A few things that Vinotinto need to overcome, and a lot of it is really themselves.
Yes, because they're a great team,
Absolutely,
and
you're not
they
top
can
six.
score. They can score on a dime.
It's going to be a throw-in for Birmingham deep in their own territory. Yeah, Vinotinto has been they've been no stranger to the aspect of tight games. So 1-goal, 2-goal matchups have kind of been their bread and butter. Like just like last week, the 2-1 victory to get into the playoffs against a very weak Atlanta City team. So don't expect Vinotinto to put 4, 5, 6 on the board at this point in the season. They're going to be happy to get that 1 goal and just defend, right?
Yes, let this ball come in.
Lots of time in front of the 6. Cosmos made it look harder than it was, but the goalkeeper for Birmingham makes the save to keep Vinotinto off the board.
But that was what we were talking about during pregame, is that a lot of the matches with Vinotinto were 1-0s, 2-1s, 3-2. There wasn't a lot of blowout games except for, those matches with Atlanta United or Atlanta City. Fortunately for Atlanta City, that happened a lot. We saw them in the season with a negative 25 goal differential.
Man.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the worst in the league.
And it wasn't the worst in their own club.
No, their poor Division I team really got put through the ringer. They should have been their U17s should have been in the academy system, not in Division I. That was a clerical error.
But hey, they still showed up and put out their own fight.
But they still came out and they still tried to fight and they tried to get it. We see a yellow card issued there to the captain of FC Birmingham.
That was Ryan Hepp, his first yellow card of the season, I believe. And I'm unsure of what he did. I would assume it had something to do with ball placement, Larry.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a disagreement in where that ball should have been placed, and he ended up receiving the plastic for his dissent.
We're about 4 minutes into the second half of action, and it feels really like nothing has happened. So bear with us back home. I'm sure both teams are going to get this thing going.
And remember that, if we don't have a goal at the end, we're moving on to extra time. We have to have a victor.
Free kick is taken by Juan. Plays it out to the left. Vinotinto tried to loop it over the back line of Birmingham. Birmingham read it all the way, knock it out for a throw-in in front of their own bench for Vinotinto. Vinotinto knock it out. It'll be a throw-in for Birmingham in front of their bench. Big throw down the line by Andrew Duffy. Right to the feet of Duarte, who's fouled. Free kick, Birmingham, right at midfield. Oscar Huerta needs to be careful. Dribbling the ball back like that right in front of the official. He just gave a caution to Ryan Hepp for the exact same thing.
And like we said in the LGSA Laminio match against Atlanta United, they ended up receiving a second yellow and a red card for such problem.
Another great punt by the goalkeepers. Both these goalkeepers, very, very, both, absolute class.
But like we say before, I think Cosmos could give a master class on how to do inside volleys.
Oh, for sure.
He is so good at it. And it's not an easy technique to be able to do.
Jose Villanueva give the ball right back to Vinotinto Atlanta. I mean, he just turned and played it right into the middle. It's going to be a throw-in for Birmingham right in front of that Vinotinto bench. They throw it quickly right to the feet of Villanueva. Lupe turns, plays it out to the right side. Ball's played in, deflected off Vinotinto. Bouncing to the top of the 18. Can Birmingham keep it in the danger zone? They can, but it's going to be a foul on Birmingham. Free kick Vinotinto, and Vinotinto won another card. And they are talking and trying to get physical once again.
And this is the one thing that I don't like, Drew, and we say it time and time again off camera. The only person that you want talking to the referee is the captain. Everyone else, go back to your position and get yourself ready to go. It does look like they do have maybe 2 substitutes.
Well, Larry, quite honestly, mate, I don't even see the captain in the frame.
No, not at all. Now, they do have 2 subs. So they caught me off guard because they were bundled up. Couldn't see them across the way there.
Looks like we're going to get another meeting here with the officials. Could be some cautions for the bench.
But, I don't mind, like we've talked time and time again, I don't mind the referees coming together, having a conversation in exactly what you said. A yellow card issued for conversation going on the side.
The officiating crew are doing their best and doing a really good job of trying to maintain order here on the pitch. And Vinotinto just not making it easy as Miguel Nunez, Thomas Bujon are hovering around. And the goalkeeper, Danny Delgado, comes out to have a word with the official. Miguel Nunez, they need to be careful. Angel Duarte's throwing his arms up like, can we please get on with it? Raul Canelo steps away. The referee's going to march back over and have another word with the assistant referee. Maybe we're going to get another caution.
We could end up, I think we could end up with a potential double yellow. I think that's what they're having a conversation with. And
we need, and remember, the yellow cards were flying in the first half for Vinotinto. So if one of those players gets a second yellow, Larry, we both know what that means. That's an automatic red card, and you're going to go down a man in the 53rd minute, and you're already going to have.
There it is.
And there it is. Is that the coach? Or is that for number 23, Joshua Marquez? Who's it for?
I believe I want to say number 2. Was it number 3 or number 2?
There's no number 2.
Number 3. I apologize.
All right. So Ronald Valera just received a second yellow. Valera is sent off. Vinotinto are down a man in the 53rd minute. The assistant referee and the referee deliberated a couple of times. Larry, you were correct. It is a double yellow situation. I mentioned it before. I told you I thought someone had already received a yellow, and they needed to be careful until the officials were able to figure it out. Ronald Valera has been sent off. Vinotinto are down a man with about 35 minutes to go, plus a lot of stoppage time.
And this is just playing into the hands of Coach Goldfarb. This is where you need a coach like Coach Goldfarb that is very stoic, able to keep the guys professional. Don't let them lose their heads. But don't give up. Vinotinto is not a team that's just gonna bend over because they're down a man. So this is still up for grabs.
Excuse me. Vinotinto have possession right in front of that Birmingham bench. Tyreek Davis pushes it out to the left side. Those red shirts are swarming. And Larry, I mentioned it probably, less than 10 minutes ago that if Vinotinto want to come away with a victory here, they have to do what? They have to overcome themselves. And, 2 or 3 minutes later after I said that, look what happens. They weren't able to overcome themselves, and they get a red card, and now they're playing down a man for the rest of the match. Oh, and it's just the first round of the UPSL Georgia playoffs.
Exactly. And this is only going to give more confidence to FC Birmingham. You're at home. You're now up a man. You've still got 35 minutes to go. And you've got multiple other players that are already on a yellow that could end up with a red themselves.
Absolutely. It's kind of like they're just feeding out of the hand of FC Birmingham, who are not playing well today. Vinotinto has made their share of mistakes, but so have FC Birmingham. They came out of the first half playing very, very well. The last 20 minutes, they were able to string some passes together, but we are now 12 minutes into this second half, and it's just been a bunch of 22 guys running around trying to foul each other, I feel like, Larry.
Exactly. You're not seeing a cohesion of 11 guys out there right now, or even for Vinotinto, 10 guys. You're just not seeing a group. You need to think about the fact that, the back line protects the midfield protects the forwards, and then you have to be as one.
Looks like it's going to be a foul over there on the touchline.
Another yellow
for
card.
Birmingham, and another yellow card is issued. This one's going to go to Marquez.
And you see,
and it looks like it might be his second, Larry.
Duarte immediately jumps up and says, that's the second one. Could this be another red card?
Let's see what the official's going to do here, as bench players and coaches are already up. And you see one of the coaches for Vinotinto pointing to his temple, which is the international symbol for use your brain, mates. This is the playoffs. There's plenty of time left. We go down 2. We're going back home with a dud.
Yeah, this is... And don't forget, these red cards aren't just something that you can just wipe off. You've still got to serve a suspension. You've still got to pay a fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just because this is the playoffs doesn't mean that it just kind of disappears into the ether.
Yeah, rules don't change. And we're going to have a free kick for Birmingham right in front of the touchline over here on the right side. They are not deep into territory, but they're creeping into the danger zone of the visiting squad, who are down a man as Ronald Valera received his second yellow in the 53rd minute, putting Vinotinto with 10 men. Let's see if Birmingham can capitalize and take advantage. Golden Boot leader, Jose Villanueva. They call him Lupe. He is standing over this free kick. 21-year-old from Acapulco, Mexico.
Still trying to finish out all this after the fact of the yellow card and the dissent from the staff and the field, and finally getting ourselves back underway here.
Doesn't even feel like we've played a second half so far. And the free kick is taken right at the top of the 18. Bounces off the free kick spot. Hazma Sadiq tries for a volley. It's blocked. Lynn Jackson puts it at the far post, and it just goes wide, as Lynn Jackson had a beautiful opportunity to put the home team up 1-0. But once again, the goalkeeper is here, and the UPSL Georgia Premier Division saved by the post.
That was very, very close, Drew. Let's take a look at that again. Almost, you would even say, running the potential of a penalty if they weren't careful. You see this ball?
Ooh, cleats right,
just kind of kind of pulled from behind. They're lucky that they didn't catch a call there.
It's going to be a goal kick for the visitors. Daniel Delgado is going to show his absolute class from the goal kick spot. And what a beautiful goal kick. I mean, it's about 50 yards in the air. One in the air by Birmingham, right down to the feet of Vinotinto. Vinotinto coming up that left side. Retreating is Ryder Strickland, able to get a clearance. Not where he wanted it, though. It's going to go right over his bench, out of bounds for a Vinotinto throw-in. We are about an hour into this contest. Vinotinto playing down a man here at Lawson Field Stadium. Let's see Birmingham going to try and capitalize, or can Vinotinto maintain and find the back of the net?
And you know, Drew, it's only a matter of time before we see that super sub, Eric Hepp, find his way onto the field. And this is real close here, Drew.
It is.
We're only looking about 4 yards out of the box.
Ball's played in, and unable to keep it out of the net is Cosmas Azuru, and Vinotinto down a man. They go up 1.
Like I said, they will find a way. What a goal from Vinotinto. Let's take a look at that. On a free kick. We said it was going to be dangerous. He got his hands on it, but he wasn't able to control it into the back of the net, and it's 1-0 Vinotinto.
And we got a conversation here with the officials once again. Man, Birmingham's going to want that one back.
They need to get a goal back quickly.
Birmingham's going to kick it off here in the 62nd minute. Go ahead, partner.
I was just going to say, statistically speaking, FC Birmingham, far more goals scored at home than conceded. That's not what you want. And there's going to be a foul right there. And that's just a simple, silly little foul that can end up with an unnecessary yellow.
Absolutely. Going to be a throw-in for Birmingham. Still in bounds. Trying to cross over to the middle for Duarte and Villanueva, but play back to the feet of Davis, who pushes it out to the left side for Naranjo. Naranjo back in the middle for Tyreek Davis. Tyreek Davis, shot on goal. Angel Duarte right into the arms of Daniel Delgado for Vinotinto. Nice chance there.
And this is one of those instances, Drew, where Birmingham needs to utilize that extra man.
Haven't really seen them even attempt to try and take advantage of the extra man, Larry. Ball's played it right in front of Coach Goldfarb. Andrew Duffy plays it to Hazma. Hazma drops it back. See Birmingham lose possession once again as Eddie Naranjo chases down Alexi Ferreira. Birmingham win the ball back, though, as they dispossess Juan. Here comes Hazma. Hazma Sadiq. He loses it. Heavy touch. It's going to be a
But
foul.
immediately he goes down holding his head. I have to disagree with that yellow card on Sadiq. I do not see that was egregious. That was more of a selling a la Neymar. You want to give him...
I mean, I didn't really even see anything.
It was in that little scrum when Sadiq was going through the three different defenders.
Did he catch him with an elbow or something?
Potentially. Maybe with a hand or something as he was coming through.
It wasn't vicious or
no, not
or
at
violent.
all. But when we're talking statistically, like we were just talking, Drew, when we look at Vinotinto, they away concede far more goals than they do at home, and they score less away. So hopefully Birmingham can find something positive in these next 25 minutes. I think it's time for Super Sub to come on.
It's time they get their act together, as Vinotinto are trying to put a second on the board. Ryder Strickland clears it away. Birmingham pushes it out to the left to Naranjo, who's got some space and time in front of him. Pushes it up, finds Lupe. Through ball attempt, great ball. If he's onside, he's got the goalkeeper to beat. Does Jackson Lynn.
But he was called offside.
It was offside.
Very, very, very thin line there. I say give him another opportunity and he can find himself onside.
Free kick for the visitors. They've got a 1-0 lead over FC Birmingham here at Lawson Field Stadium. UPSL Georgia Premier Division playoff action, first round. Third seed FC Birmingham taking on the sixth seed Vinotinto Atlanta. Free kick in the air, won by Birmingham. Davis plays it back to Duffy. Duffy pushes it up the right side. Birmingham are going to reset in the back. Alan Garcia.
And for Birmingham, Drew, the focus shouldn't be on scoring 2. It's just about scoring 1. Score that goal. Find your way into extra time if necessary.
Birmingham just keep giving the ball away so sloppily to the visitors. Nice move in the midfield. Oh my gosh, spot on Tyreek Davis. But Davis able to maintain and win the ball back. Oscar Huerta put Davis on skates, but Davis able to come back and win possession. And then once again, FC Birmingham giving the ball right back to the visiting squad, but Birmingham able to win it back. Here comes Jackson Lynn. He's got 2 red shirts in front of him, plays it out to the right side for Villanueva, who stops, grabs his face. He thinks he's fouled. Referee disagrees. Birmingham are still in possession. Hazma plays it inside. Ball's played up in the air, headed away by Vinotinto. Ryan Hepp trying to win the ball back, but he is unsuccessful. Alexi Ferrer for Vinotinto plays it out to the right side. And Vinotinto gives it right back to Birmingham. And Birmingham gives it right back to Vinotinto. As captain Marco Gomez is in possession. Knocks it off Birmingham. Throw in Vinotinto.
And you know, Drew, we talked about Paul Downey before the match.
He's there.
I think this might be any of those guys that are on the bench. It's time to get them on.
Looks like we're going to have another stoppage. As the referee's running back to check on Villanueva. Remember, Jose took a shot right in the face as he had possession over on the right side. Is he going to get substituted here? He's walking very gingerly.
I think he
or is he bleeding?
I think he might be. I think he might have a bloody nose potentially. It's kind of hard to see all the way from up here.
Sorry, that tickled me. I would love if you'd be able to see that from up there.
Some eagle eyes.
Yes.
Adam with the great camera angles. He tries to get us as much as we can see.
It's going to be a throw-in for Vinotinto just over half field. Throw-in's taken right down the line. Birmingham just knock it out. Ryder Strickland not taking any chances. Throw in Vinotinto. Throw-in will be taken by Oscar Huerta. Or would that be no, it'll be Marco Gomez, captain. Big throw-in by Gomez. Put right at the penalty spot. Volley attempt. Sails wide. Cosmos watched it go, too. Great shot by Juan Roches for Vinotinto. Goal kick, FC Birmingham. Tyreek Davis brings the ball out of the back for Birmingham. Plays a nice little pass to Ryan Hepp. Hepp plays it back to Davis. Davis pushes it out to the right side. Ryder Strickland plays it back to the inside for Davis. Davis looks to be pulling the strings. Davis gives it right back to Vinotinto. Here come the home team trying to stop the visitors from putting a second on the board. Oscar Huerta. Knocked out of bounds. Throw in for the home team. 70th minute. Vinotinto Atlanta on top of FC Birmingham 1-0. Vinotinto playing a man down, but it looks like they want it more than the home team, as it could be a second yellow.
Another yellow.
Is it a second for Juan? It'll be his first. You see referee checking his book.
Getting to the point to where just about every Vinotinto player has a card.
You got to be careful. You go down 2.
There's several players on the bench you can see on Birmingham side saying that's 2.
Referee.
Let's see if we can keep up with the referee.
Looks like Eric Hepp is taking his penny off, and he is going to get. I'm sorry, taking his warm-up off, putting his penny on. It looks like he may get ready to enter this game. Birmingham in possession on the right side. Ryder Strickland plays it into Ryan Hepp, plays it back to Ryder. Ryder's heavily pressed by Vinotinto. Playing a man down. They just oozing confidence right now. Duarte coming down the right side.
That's what we said when they got the red card, is that they'll still play.
Birmingham just gave the ball right away
and
played it to nobody, had all the time and all the advantage in the world.
Just wasted that one. That's one thing that I've noticed, Drew. We're not seeing a lot of play from Birmingham down this left side. It just, everything is going through that right channel.
And sometimes I begin to wonder which team is playing a man down.
And this is what Vinotinto will do, is they will try to suck every second off the clock in this second half to try to come out of this with a victory.
They're holding on to a narrow 1-0 lead right now. But again, Vinotinto, Atlanta down a man. It hasn't really mattered because Birmingham they just have not played well at all tonight. Not any aspect of the game has gone their way tonight, Larry. Besides the cards. Besides the cards.
Besides the cards.
Hosma with lots of space in the midfield. It looks like Vinotinto is just, parking the bus, dropping all the red jerseys back. Going to make Birmingham break them down. Let's see if they can do it. They've got a little over 15 minutes to do so. Season's on the line. Free kick for the home team. Real deep into the territory of Vinotinto. You got to be careful if you're Vinotinto. This is where they seem to lose their mentality when it comes to free kicks and ball placement. It appears that their whole team has yellow cards right now. Ball's played in from Birmingham. It's going to be deflected off Vinotinto. Corner kick for Birmingham.
Tried to catch him off guard with that little free kick there. Not able to do so.
Villanueva is going to place this corner kick down. He's going to take it. He's got a right foot on him. So it's going to be an out swinger. Look for this to go at the right at this penalty spot. It bounces right over it. Shot on goal, deflected again off Vinotinto. Can they keep it in bounds? Naranjo just with a heavy touch, push it over the goal line. It's going to be a goal kick for the visitors. And time's a ticking for Birmingham to put something together here. As we said before, they really haven't had any magic tonight in any aspect of the game.
We got 15 minutes left to get one goal. Need a spark of magic from someone.
Be a goal kick for Vinotinto. Substitution. As number 8 enters the field for Vinotinto. Birmingham are in possession. Play the ball out to the right side, right at half field. Still in possession of Birmingham. They give it right back to Vinotinto once again. Gustavo Aldana checks in for Vinotinto. It's number 8. Birmingham in possession over here on the left side, right here in front of us. As Tyreek plays it out to Ryder Strickland. He plays it right up the middle of the feet of Jose Villanueva, who's fouled. Free kick for the home team. Foul's going to be on Juan Rotiez, who is on a yellow, so he needs to be careful as well. Free kick for the home team. Andrew Duffy stands over this ball. He's going to take the kick. Ball's played in. Headed away by Vinotinto. Right back to Birmingham. Long volley attempt as it sails well over the bar for Villanueva. Goal kick.
I have to say a wasted chance there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's you know, it's getting a bit frustrating, and I'm not even playing. As Eric Hepp checks in for the home team. There's your boy, super sub. Is it too late though?
At some point, you've got to utilize that extra man. I'd like to see, I mean, at this point, Coach Goldfarb's going to have to bring on every striker that he has on the bench. You can give up a little bit of defense to get that goal.
It's going to be a throw-in for Birmingham right in front of their bench. Duffy takes it, plays it back to Strickland. Strickland puts it across the middle to the feet of Alan Garcia. Garcia takes a touch, plays it up that left side for Naranjo. Naranjo looks up, takes a touch inside, decides against it, plays it back to Ryan. Ryan Hepp dumps it back to Garcia. Garcia plays a hospital ball to Tyreek, but Tyreek's able to maintain possession. He pushes it out to the right side, right at midfield. I like to see Birmingham attack a little bit more. Stop giving the ball away so easily. Alan Garcia plays it inside to Davis. Back to Garcia. Garcia looks up. Plays it to Naranjo. Tyreek Davis plays it back to Ryder Strickland. Plays it out to the right side for a wide open Andrew Duffy. Duffy takes a few touches. Takes a few more touches. He's got all the time in front of him in the world. Plays it across the middle. Forces it inside. Eddie Naranjo inside the 18. Plays it in the cross. And the teams were able to get a foot on it and clear it away. It'll be a throw-in deep in the corner here for Birmingham. 79th minute. They trail Vinotinto Atlanta 1-0. First round, UPSL Georgia Premier Division playoff action. I am Drew Dickinson, joined tonight by Larry Weaver. Oscar Huerta loses possession. Wins it right back, but puts it right back to the feet of Birmingham. Duffy gets a big cross in, looking for captain Ryan Hepp. Ball is going to go out of bounds for another Birmingham throw-in. Alan Garcia steps up from his defensive position to take the throw. Throws it square, receives the ball back from Lupe. Lupe turns, takes a few touches, and immediately gives it away. Big clearance for Vinotinto. Marcos Gomez, captain, gets a big clearance down the right side, but he's unable to keep it in bounds. Garcia throws it square to the feet of Davis. Tyreek Davis turns, plays it out to the right side for Ryder Strickland. I'm sorry, that's Ryan Hepp. Ryan Hepp plays it to his brother Eric. Eric plays it back to Ryan. Birmingham looking to slow it down, trying to find some space, maybe open up a few gaps here. Far post to Hepp. Hepp gets a head on it and just sails over the bar. It's going to be another goal kick for Vinotinto, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the home team. A lot more confidence here in the last couple of minutes. They're able to string some passes together, try and get and push back Vinotinto on their heels, and find some space in behind those center backs. Remember, they're playing a man down, our Vinotinto. So Birmingham needs to find a way to use that at their advantage, as Daniel Delgado looks like he's hurt his wrist trying to make that save.
Yeah, when he jumped to hit that, that was a good header by Hepp, just didn't get it on frame. And when he jumped to try to deflect it, he ended up slamming into the top bar. He's also, you know, this is another way to gain a few seconds of clock.
Absolutely. As no attention was really administered, just having a few sips. You know, I'm not going to knock the strategy because it's working.
Not at all. And, for Birmingham there, that was really positive passing, positive movement in the middle third. Just once they get down to that final third, they're trying to press it a little too hard, and they're just kind of lobbing the ball into the box and hoping for a wonder.
Foul on Vinotinto. Free kick for Birmingham right over on the left touchline. Foul's going to be on Eddie Naranjo, committed by Cesar. Garcia is going to take this free kick right out here on the touchline. Probably going to dump it to Tyreek really quick. And he does. Tyreek with some momentum here. Plays a square ball to Hazma. Hazma drops it back to Ryan Hep. Hep plays it out to Alan Garcia. Garcia uses that left foot. Goes far post. Ryan Eric Hep goes up 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper won that battle. And the goalkeeper goes down once again. Didn't really see much on that one as referee says get up.
But, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Just a tiny little bit of contact with Eric Hepp, and he's going to go down, and he's going to complain because he's trying to get every second off the clock that he wants. This is what Vinotinto does. Birmingham has to know that, and I'm sure that's probably one of the things that Goldfarb is probably screaming to the guys on the field, is that that every single chance that they're going to get, they're going to try to suck those seconds off of the clock. Don't let them have that opportunity.
I'd also, if I was Coach Goldfarb, I would be marching over to the fourth official and telling him, I need you to be in constant contact with the center because this is the second time that these guys have gone down with time wasting and no medical attention has been administered either time. And let's see. Yep, nobody's talking to the fourth official. It's just something that I would do. I think that's very smart. You're down a goal. Your season's on the line. Think you would try and get any sort of advantage that you can. Great camera work by our cameraman to see if Coach Goldfarb was having any sort of conversations, but he's not, and the play is going to resume as another substitution for Vinotinto.
You look at a professional coaches like Coach Mourinho. He's constantly in that fourth official's ear, or even a Klopp or some of the others, Conte. You're constantly in that ear, constantly.
You got to, Larry. It's only going to assist you. As we're still deliberating as to what is going on.
I think we're going to get a drop ball potentially.
Goalkeeper seems fine now as he snatches the ball out of the referee's hands, demonstrating on how you catch the ball when it's over your head. Hands it back to the referee, who walks forward and is going to put the dead ball back into play via drop ball. Birmingham win the drop ball and then put the ball in the back of the net. What's going on here? Hold on. The referee dropped the ball, puts it back in play. It should be 1-1. Partner, the referee has not. There is nothing in the rule book that says what happened cannot happen. It is a goal. As Angel Duarte is being held back. Okay, so they put the dead ball back in play, and the sportsmanlike thing to do is to allow the other team a chance to play the ball first since the injury was on the goalkeeper. But in Duarte's defense, the ball's in play. I'm not going to stand there and stare at it until you do. Nice heads-up play by him, but it was the other team has to touch it first, but nice heads-up play.
Well, that's one of those they'd say, it's a gentleman's sport. You don't do it. You let them have it, but you don't. But in all of this, Duarte trying to win it for the team, all it's done is chewed off more time off the clock because the referee's trying to figure out what's going on. You've got players
even
going
the
at each other.
The referee didn't even know what was going on. He was just staring at it.
Like I said, it's one of those gentleman things where you just let the opponent have possession, but you don't have to.
Yeah, there is no rule in the rule book for that. So I am trying to understand why the referee stopped play and then is going back to a drop ball. Like I really need to understand what's going on here, because like I said, and like you just said, there is no rule that says a dead ball is supposed to be played back to the team who was actually fouled or hurt. It's the sportsmanship thing to do, and it's camaraderie. But Duarte took things into his own hand and put the ball in the back of the net. Then the referee restops play again. I haven't been a certified official in about 6-7 years, so forgive me if I'm not up to par, but I think I'm up to par enough to know what I'm talking about real quick. I've never seen this happen before.
Yeah, and if there's anybody that knows the rule, it's Coach Goldfarb. And now we get back underway with at least 3 minutes wasted.
And I'm going to say more than that, as Birmingham win a throw-in deep in their own territory. And I guess just like it's up to the judgment, I really would like to know what just happened. But anyways, we'll get back into this one. Not much time left in this matchup. Not much time left in Birmingham's season if they can't find one, can't find that equalizer. Still playing a man down, have been for a long time, but Vinotinto just want it more. Vinotinto headed out.
That's a thing we talked about many a times through this season, where you have a team that goes up a man and decides to play to the weaker team's ability, not utilize that man advantage.
And Larry, we're going to get back to it, and I hate to say it again, but Birmingham didn't play last week. They won via forfeit. They haven't played in 2 weeks. Momentum is not on the side of the home team today.
Not at all. And you see another yellow, this one going to be issued to Birmingham.
It's going to be Eddie Naranjo is going to receive this caution. In the 89th minute, second half of action, Vinotinto Atlanta on top of FC Birmingham, 1-0. Able to put a free kick in the back of the net. Where are the visitors? Can Birmingham find something within? Can they find some magic? Can they find that equalizer? Only time will tell, but there's not that much time left. Big clearance from the goalkeeper. Right back down to the feet of Birmingham. Villanueva tries to maintain possession, but he puts it right back to the feet of the defense of Vinotinto. Cleared away. Tyreek Davis for FC Birmingham in possession. Plays another ball to the feet of the visiting squad, who play it right back to the feet of the home team. Jose Villanueva's fouled. I'm sorry, Angel Duarte's fouled. Free kick for Birmingham. Quickly taken. Outside to the left for Lupe. Referee doesn't like it. He wants him to play it back. Looks like the ball is still moving. They're going to retake this free kick. Naranjo and Davis in front of the ball. Larry, I'm getting a lot of chatter from some fans watching the game back home. They agree, some of them agree, that it should be 1-1. There's no rule in the book about sportsmanship.
Yes, it's one of those that...
Oh, did you see that?
Yes.
That's got to be another card. I mean, that has to be a send-off, time's wasting, and that person, yeah. You don't like to see that. That's despicable. Absolutely despicable. You know what you did. Get out of here. Sorry for my emotions if you're watching back home, but that's just disgusting. Good for the official to send them on their merry way. And the official, I feel really bad for him, but at the same time, he's really, really, really calling a good game and trying his best to maintain order here.
He's trying, and it's that, you know that teams like Vinotinto, they play very emotionally, and it's hard. It's one of those caveats that it's hard to prepare for as an official.
There are more non-players on the bench of Vinotinto than players, so it's a really tough task for this officiating crew to keep this thing even keel here. As it's going to be a throw-in for Birmingham right in front of the bench of Vinotinto. They throw it in right to Eric Hepp. Duffy's going to play it inside. Delgado's going to come off his line, snatch it up, go down, waste a few more minutes. Waste a few more seconds. Smart goalkeeping. Sloppy punt right back to Eric, but Eric wasn't able to get a good touch on it. It's going to be a Birmingham throw-in.
And that's one of the things, Drew, is these are the type of actions that as long as you allow them, they will continue to do it.
Absolutely. I can't get it out of my head. I think that the home team had a goal taken from them until
And you see right there, the staff are stepping in front of him of Birmingham because they're trying to do a long throw.
You can see him in the black hoodie, the Adidas hoodie, right in front of
And he's just
Duffy.
standing in front of him to block him.
And it's just wasting time, and the officials are doing absolutely nothing.
Well, they're trying to do another substitute is Vinotinto, and number 4 is just taking his sweet time. He should be getting a yellow card for this right there.
Yeah, stops and takes his shin guards off, and he's dissent, talking to the other team. I'm unsure of what the official doing. Cosmos comes out of his goal to bark at the referee as we are entering the 93rd minute. Vinotinto still down a man, but they're still up that crucial.
And here you see they're blocking. They're blocking him from being able to do the throw.
Big throw in here, and all for nothing as he drops it right back to Strickland. Strickland plays it in. Hazma at the back post. Birmingham had a beautiful chance to tie it at the death, and Hazma Sadiq, he's going to want that one back.
He went
puts
for
it
near
right
post, and he should have went for far.
As it looks like the time is going to run out for Birmingham, as that opportunity was more than golden. Nice move here to bring it down that right wing for Vinotinto. Birmingham win the ball back, but put it right back to the feet of the visiting squad. Duffy's able to win it back, pushes it back to Hazma, who plays it long to nobody. Right to the captain, Marco Nunez for Vinotinto.
You hate that they're getting to the point where they're just sending long balls.
Sadiq in possession, putting it right up the middle once again. It's one thing to play long balls, but you're playing long balls and there's no yellow shirts up there. It's all red jerseys. 94th minute. Another wasted ball by the home team. Ball's going to go out for a throw-in. Eric Hepp needs to take it with a lot more urgency than this. Deflected, back to Hazma. Nice move, fake the shot. Eric Hepp plays it out. Orion plays it out to Eric. Eric has another weak cross. It's going to deflect off Vinotinto. Throw in for Birmingham. We're about entering the 95th minute. Tyreek Davis. Desperation mode now for FC Birmingham, as it's going to be a foul on Birmingham, and this might be it, Larry. This might be it for their season, as a silly foul deep in the territory of Vinotinto may do it here for FC Birmingham.
And you see here again, this time going to complain about a shin guard or something, cramp.
A cramp in the 40-degree weather. You know, whether you like it or not, you got to applaud the strategy because it's working.
Exactly. It's a strategy that a team can use. You know, they know that they're not going to be able to beat you technically, so they're going to beat you mentally.
Exactly.
You have to be prepared for either one.
We are entering the 96th minute of stoppage time, or 6th minute of stoppage time here. Vinotinto Atlanta on top of FC Birmingham 1-0. UPSL Georgia Premier Division first round playoff action. 6th seed looking to upset the 3rd seed on their home turf. Tyreek Davis still in desperation mode. Another long ball right up the gut. Looking for Villanueva, headed back into the midfield by Vinotinto. Vinotinto win the big ball out of the air. Still in possession. Big body up front for Vinotinto. Just going to hold play. And he's going to go down. Free kick for the visitors. Here in the 97th minute. As the minutes and the seconds tick down on FC Birmingham's season. Started off really poor. New manager in town. Steamrolled through the rest of the season to a 3rd place regular season finish. Been playing a man up for the past 30 minutes. Just unable to find the magic tonight. Could this be their season?
And Drew, we'll see if this is also going to be the end of Coach Goldfarb, if he's going to come back for 2023 or if he is going to move back into retirement.
It's one of to me it's 50-50. He's so unreadable. Great guy, you just can't read him, and that's something that I really love about him. So you really don't know. I mean, I don't get an impression, here nor there.
And one of the other things to talk about, earlier in this match when Vinotinto had that potential a potential penalty that could have been called.
Oh yeah, the missed penalty, the
Yes.
obvious penalty. Birmingham still in possession at midfield. Alan
We got to
Garcia.
be getting close to the end.
98th minute. Throw in from Hep. Plays it back to Hazma. Hazma beats one man. Drops it back to Davis. Davis plays it out to the left side. Eddie Naranjo beats one man and he's fouled. The referees say play on. It's going to be a goal kick. It will be a goal kick for Vinotinto. Enter in the 99th
That pretty much
minute.
summed up tonight, Drew, right there. You just taken off the ball and just out for a goal kick. Just no
sense of urgency.
No,
nothing
just
tonight
nothing.
from FC Birmingham. Not their best game of the season, that's for sure. Delgado's taking the goal kick, taking his merry little time. Clears it up to the left side. Ball stays in bounds. Birmingham in possession. Nice move by Hazma, who is being...
I will say good thing for the center ref to not be put up with all those little antics to get extra time.
Going to be a foul on Tyreek Davis. Another free kick for Vinotinto. Man, I did not expect this type of performance tonight from FC Birmingham. Missing Verdi Martina, missing Ethan Acton, missing Paul Downey. You have some viable excuses, but when you play a man up for almost half the game, there's not much I can do to defend you.
It's back to the drawing board for FC Birmingham. They made it to the playoffs. Now let's see if they can make it on to the second round, hopefully in the fall. And there's the whistle.
There it goes, and Vinotinto Atlanta playing a man down, holds on to the 1-0 victory, and they're sending FC Birmingham packing, and Vinotinto's going to have a party on the ride back to Atlanta tonight. They advance to the second round of the playoffs. They will meet Atlanta United Academy at Silverbacks Park next week.
Not going to be an easy match, I'd say, for either of these two at Silverbacks next week. Atlanta United Academy wants to be able to move on to the national title, so they are going to bring everything that they have to Vinotinto. LGSA Laminio, they're going to want to put everything to the Rovers so that they can make it into the final. Just not what we wanted to see here for FC Birmingham. They've had a fantastic season. They had the Golden Boot winner. In our opinion, could be the coach of the year with Coach Goldfarb. It all just comes up short here in the first round of the playoffs.
And that's going to do it tonight from Birmingham, Alabama. Vinotinto Atlanta maintain the 1-0 lead, and they advance to the second round of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division playoffs. FC Birmingham, the third place finish in the regular season, just didn't have the magic tonight. They're going to go home. So are Vinotinto, but they're going to go home happy. That's going to do it for us tonight. For Atlantic Soccer Media Group, I am Drew Dickinson. He was Larry Weaver. Good night, everyone.
Nachos, better with Pepsi.
Thank you for watching the Atlantic Soccer Media Group's coverage of UPSL Soccer.